they did face France in the semi-finals of the 2022 World Cup we were just talking about in Qatar. France winning that game 2-0. So it was a good win for France that day. But both teams have played pretty well here in North America so far in this World Cup. Obviously, rivals, you can draw the historical parallels between the two teams. There are French players who have Moroccan heritage. There are Moroccan players with French heritage as well. How much will that game in the last World Cup have an impact on this one? Because a lot of the players are the same, aren't they, Ian?
Yeah, they're the same. Listen, this is a cracking matchup. This is such a tasty affair. Obviously, a lot off the field can create the drama on the field. France are favourites for this World Cup. Morocco, I think 6 of their players that were in the roster were born in born in France. So there's a personal element to this as well. I think Morocco are so well set up that this might be the biggest test that we will see for France throughout this World Cup. If they get past this Morocco side, they could potentially win that World Cup easily. But if Morocco win this tie and go through, they could be the first African side that goes to a final and potentially wins it. So both teams are set up perfectly. France have the better squad. At the end of the day, they have the better talent. They should be able to win. But there's something about this Morocco heart. Talent, absolutely there. Quality up top as well. If Saibari plays, great. Hopefully he does, because he's been banging in the goals. He's a loss when he's not there. But they have an immense amount of ability. There's a lot of tales with Hakimi, obviously playing in France for Paris Saint-Germain. His ratio of consistency going forward is insane. He's not a fullback. Guy plays his own position. They're deadly, Morocco. I'm so high on this team. I love the coach. He's undefeated since he's been at the helm. Obviously, controversial what happened at AFCON. I wouldn't put it past an upset in this game. But if France are on their day, France should win it.
I agree with Ian there. I mean, I think this is going to be a really difficult game for France. I almost think, and I hate to say this, I almost think just the way that Morocco play, they're almost like the kryptonite for France. I almost fancy Morocco to trouble France more than I would England. England have a better team and a better squad, but I just think the way that Morocco play, I think they'll believe they can get this done.
I definitely do think it will be epic game. Both teams have really high quality, but France for me are probably the one team that I struggle to find a vulnerability. And when you're looking at, is it 14 goals for, 2 against? I think that graphic showed. It's the way that they score goals. And I was at their France-Sweden game. Yeah, it was 14 for, 2 against. But it's the way that they score those 14 goals. And it's such a variety of different goals. They have no clear pattern because they are so creative. They read each other's play so incredibly well. Their movement is exceptional. They can score off a counter. They can break down a low block. Defensively, they haven't given much away at all. I think if Morocco win this game, absolutely, that will be one of the biggest upsets because France, for me, are the favourites. They're my favourites by a mile. I can't find a vulnerability for France. They look so good all over the pitch and have the squad depth, that the players to come off the bench. Olise, Mbappe, Dembele have just been phenomenal this entire tournament. And the only thing that will stumble them is if they're overconfident, which I don't think they will be. I don't think you can come up against Morocco and not have the utmost respect for them for what they've done as well.
Or if you get rattled, right? Paraguay tested France in this game. Obviously, you needed a penalty kick to get through. I think that what we witnessed in that game was France took their concentration slightly away because they were more focused on the battle that Paraguay were throwing at them. It became a competitive, aggressive affair that basically knocked them off their game. They were hitting the post, they were missing chances because they weren't on their game. So if not at their best, France, Morocco can beat them. Absolutely. They have the talent. I do think Saibari needs to play for that to happen. I don't know if they've got enough if he's not there, because he is a bit of a killer inside that penalty. I mean, he scored in every single game in the group stage, and obviously massive miss in that last game, picking up the early injury. But watch out for Brahim Diaz. He had a bit of an impact in the AFCON, then missed the penalty kick, and I think he's going to have something to say about this game as well, as is Hakimi. So Africa has been a problem for France. Don't forget that as well. They've lost 6 games this century, and 3 of them have come against African sides. So I wouldn't put it past, okay? There's a bit of pressure there. If France are not on their game, they can lose this game. But they have to be at their best to beat this Morocco. They really do.
Jen, I think we all agree with what you said there, that this France team, compared to the other squads at the World Cup, do seem to have that extra gear that nobody else has. If you're preparing to face a team like that is clearly the best squad, the best team, that is so difficult to beat, how do you go about these couple of days leading into the game to engineer an upset? What have you got to focus on?
I think for Morocco, that's a good question. I think for Morocco, it's about sticking to your own game plan first and foremost. I think they've been so good on the ball going forward and tried to dictate bits of possession. But I think when they have seemed rattled against Paraguay, when the game has become very physical, that's really important. I think there are so many elements of this game that can still go Morocco's way. It's about being clinical. If you don't have many chances, taking them when they come. Sitting in your compact positions and in your block, whatever way they choose to do that. I'll be really intrigued to see how they press them, because if you press them high off the pitch, watching Sweden do that a couple of times when they were chasing the game and allowing Mbappe half the pitch to go and run and use half the pitch to bring other people into play was just, you can't stop that. Tactically, they have to get it spot on. So I think for me, they'll sit in a bit of a mid-block, lower block potentially and try and get them on the counter. I feel like that's what any team would do. Try and protect the space in behind, knowing that they have so much firepower in the front line from a French perspective. I don't think you can go and press this French. They're too good building out.
Yeah.
They play through you're done.
A lot of people were quite critical, Ian, of the way that Paraguay went about that game. I know they lost it ultimately. They made a hell of a fight of it. Is there something in that Morocco can maybe draw something from, trying to make it into a bit of a fight?
Yeah, they tried to intimidate, the French team, and I think they managed to be successful at that. They knocked them off their game slightly, but still, France have enough weapons to be able to rotate. I mean, they're bringing players like Doué and Cherki off the bench to have an impact at any given time.
Crazy, isn't it?
I mean, you can go down the names, and if they need to play a different style, you've got Mateta that can come up and be a bit more direct and aggressive as well. Bounou has to have a very good game for Morocco in between the sticks. This could come down to penalty kicks, so he does have to have a top-class affair, and Morocco need to take their chances. But to your point, Jen, how do you stop this France side when they are almost at their very best? If you look at the statistics from Mbappe in particular, 7 goals from 26 shots. His XG was only 4.8. Right? He's scored more than expected from him. He's taken opportunities that probably he shouldn't be taking and scoring. And if you look at the creator, Michael Olise, albeit he hasn't scored a goal yet, he's got 5 assists in this competition. And yet when those two are not playing well, it's then down to the other players. Oh, by the way, they're all world class.
Well, Dembele's got 4 goals.
Dembele's still not been at his best. So there is more to come. There's another level from France. And I think they've got to get there to beat this Morocco side. Let's not forget, Morocco played incredibly well in one of the best games we saw in the previous round against the Netherlands. That was a great